Are they the smartest or the luckiest team in the history of American sports? They have feasted on others' mistakes. Let's go back to Kobe Bryant, the closest thing we've ever seen to MJ. They got Kobe Bryant, the 13th pick in the draft, for Vlade Divac, who smoked after games, who wasn't at the time an all-star, who, like many Europeans at the time, was finesse, more of a passer than a scorer. Kobe got 5 rings, 2 MVPs in the finals, another MVP, iconic. Jerry West worked him out at the Inglewood YMCA. They put Michael Cooper on him. This is how good Kobe was out of high school. They put one of the great defenders of all time, Michael Cooper, guarded him in an Inglewood YMCA. Jerry West called it the greatest 45-minute workout he'd ever seen. They got him for a guy that smoked after games. They got Pau Gasol from Memphis. What did they give up? A bunch of stuff, including Kwame Brown, Javaris Crittenton, and lower first-round picks for Pau Gasol, who with Kobe would win 2 more titles and one of Kobe's great teammates ever. They got Anthony Davis. You think, well, they had to give up quite a haul for Anthony Davis. Well, Lonzo Ball had already shown a prone injury career. He got hurt a lot already. They gave up, again, lower first-round picks because AD and LeBron together were going to be a top team in the league. Josh Hart's a good B player. I like him. And Brandon Ingram scores a lot, but there's not much there beyond. He makes a lot of money and scores a lot, but he's not a guy that's going to carry you anywhere. And then they get Luka for a 6-pack of Diet Coke and AD at 31. I mean, if the Lakers call about your superstar, hang the phone up. They stole Kobe. They pretty much stole Pau Gasol. I mean, they had to give up some picks at the end of the first round for AD, but Luka for 1 first-round pick. 1 first-round pick. And Anthony Davis, who I like a lot, but is now hurt and probably out for 6 to 8 weeks. It's really remarkable what they've done. You know, maybe this is just the way business works, that the better teams and the bigger brands manipulate the bad GMs and the bad CEOs and the bad brands. But it's remarkable. You'll watch tonight. Utah's not a great team. But Luka's going to start here probably in about 5 or 6 games. Once he gets back into shape here because he was off since Christmas, he'll start dropping 30. LeBron's playing the best he's played in arguably a decade. Austin Reeves now is a not necessary but a very good 3 to 4. They kept Dalton Connect. I don't know. I mean, to me, they're a rim protector away from being a championship team. Rachel Nichols on the show yesterday talking about this deal again.
There wasn't a feeling prior to this trade that the Lakers were headed to the Western Conference Finals. And now you can make that case. I think there's a lane there. I still wouldn't call them the favorite in the West, but I definitely think it's going to be interesting. And just that idea that if they wanted to, the Lakers could play either Luka or LeBron for 48 straight minutes, often both of them, is crazy.
Yeah, it's more than that. Lakers, LeBron, Luka, again, game 2 together this time in Salt Lake. So, you know, Super Bowls always resonate. One thing we do know in the last decade, if you lose a Super Bowl, no matter how good your quarterback is, there's only one exception, and that was the Patriots once, that you go back and you crush again. Everybody pulls back if they lose a Super Bowl. They get to the Super Bowl, they lose, they don't get back. It's just the way it is. And Travis Kelce was on his podcast with his brother, and, you know, he kind of disappeared last couple of games. He has been their number 1 target last 3-4 years and or longer, and he's just a very important person. He blocks, he's tough, the physicality, the temperament, but it may be time to quit, retire. Yeah, we've said this about LeBron. LeBron's played over 3 full seasons of just playoff games. You start looking at Travis Kelce in the last 7 years, he's played another season of NFL football for playoff games. And we ask our tight ends to block, often the best athlete on the other side of the field. So let's be honest about Kansas City's offense. Remember when Tom Brady got to the end of New England And there was that piece of video, him screaming. It was maybe it had been a Thursday night game or a Sunday night game. He's screaming at his wide receivers, somebody get open. But New England was unable because they were paying other players, including Brady, and they didn't draft wide receivers well. So if you really are honest about Kansas City in the last 3 years, they've kind of been patchwork on offense. I mean, all 5 Super Bowl trips, they've had 5 different left tackles. They've never had a great left tackle. Patchwork. The wide receivers in the last 3 Super Bowls, Richie James, McCole Hardman, Sky Moore, Kadarius Toney, Marquise Valdes-Scantling, they're kind of bounce around the NFL guys. That's all they are. They don't have a ton of stability at running back. I mean, we're doing Kareem Hunt again. Isaiah Pacheco's a great story. Is he a great player? Clyde Edwards-Helaire was a bust. There are warning signs here. Now, some of it is Mahomes is super expensive. Travis Kelce, super expensive. Chris Jones, super expensive. They have a very good GM and they draft well. But if you remember in the end, Tom Brady in New England, Tom Brady was sort of holding that offense up with duct tape. And after I'm watching that game against Philadelphia and the game against Houston, it's only Buffalo. They always score 35 points or more. You start looking, Buffalo's defense, the top corner was out. We don't consider it an elite defense. We don't. We consider the offense with Josh Allen and James Cook and Kincaid. That's the part of the Bills that is elite. You just start looking at this team. When they played good defenses like Houston and Philadelphia, they got a bunch of B dudes. It's the Brady Patriots at the end. You're just holding it together. It's patchwork guys everywhere. And again, I'll go to the Super Bowl runner-up. Since 2014, Patriots won the Super Bowl. You got 4 different teams miss the playoffs. You got teams losing wild card and divisional round stuff. So I think it's pretty clear. And when you draft 31st in a very, very weak draft, where draft people who I lean on say there are 12, maybe 13 max elite first-round players. Kansas City's getting none of them, and they need one at left tackle. They need another one at tight end. They need another one at running back. And, by the way, they need another interior offensive lineman. They got to spend some time and capital on that offensive line that got pushed around for 4 hours against Philadelphia. So my take on Travis Kelce has been this is the perfect time for a clean break. He's got tons of money, lots of options, and I think one of the mistakes basketball, football teams do is they cling to the end. You could say, well, what about LeBron? LeBron's still elite. LeBron's still a top 7 player in the league. There are nights he's a top 3 player in the league. There's nights that he's the best player in the NBA still, depending on the schedule. So to me, this feels like it's time for a clean break. He's expensive. He's a tight end. This is a good tight end draft. If they were going to move up and be aggressive outside of left tackle, it'd be for tight end.
Hi, everybody. It's me, Uncle Colin. Subscribe here to get the latest from the herd, including exclusive behind-the-scenes videos and more, wherever you may be, however you may be watching. Thanks again for making us part of your day.